Hello people, good evening, it's that time again, so we go again, indeed. So, welcome everyone to my live stream, welcome to the channel. My name's Danny C. Let's get down to business, shall we? I hope everyone's doing good, and I hope everyone is well. So let's get straight to it then. So, just do this, and I hope everyone's doing good. So this is round 4 of the GT World Series Manufacturers Cup, and we're off to the Red Bull Ring in Austria. So this is obviously one of them tracks that I'm more familiar with also. It could rain, but we'll find out as we go along. So let's get straight to it then. So I hope everyone's doing good. And last time out, having done round 3, which is when I was last live, obviously looked like I felt I should have just left. Looking back, just should have just if only that could have done that one race at 5 o'clock or something like that. Then therefore that if I would have left it, then maybe more points would have been added to the bag. But it's one of those things that but I wasn't well at the time, and then so here I am now. I'm feeling much better than I have been for the past few days. So which is good. So let's come out to the Escapes movies and go into Sport Mode to see what round 4 has to offer at the Red Bull Ring. So before we get even further, then obviously that is the first of the 3 slots I'll be taking part in, so probably going to be my only shot I'll have. Welcome along, Indian Stig. Thank you for tuning in. I'm not too bad, thank you. I'm feeling much better than the last couple of days in terms of health, although I wasn't well from the other day. But so I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So and I hope you're well as well, my brother. So for those who don't know Indian Stig, for those who are just tuning in, he has a channel for those who like to go and have a look at his YouTube content. As he does open lobbies, anything league racing related, whether it's Grand Small World Series, sometimes daily races, for when the combos are in the right combination. And yeah, so and he's not far off the 900 subscriber mark, I believe. Not far off the 900 subscriber mark, so I appreciate you sparing the moment to say hello on the go, my brother. So hope the races go well for you, if you're free to do them. So just looking on the that lap time was obviously when I was doing the online those time trials, obviously. Just had to wait or even do a few laps or something to get a good fast dry lapping, because what was happening there, as you can see. So let's have a look at the Irish bloke's lap in the McLaren, as I got myself into the top 100 somehow. So it's wet. So how long has the Irish dudes have been doing? Been doing 74 laps, and then it's nearly dark. Having been in this lobby for nearly 2 hours. So I wonder if the Irish dude's been idle for the first half an hour or something. Putting a lot of miles into the Irish bloke in the McLaren. 172,000 miles. So as you can see, it's all bone dry and everything. So it's funny how some people obviously will have to fight the time, you know, just to get a good lap in, so they can see themselves into the top 100. And the laps are very much consistent, I'll give him that. So, and then you also have myself in the leaderboard where my name is in the top 100. Only a second off the Irish dude in the McLaren. So, I mean, you don't really know who you're up against in terms of who you're racing with in a certain lobby. But this is what we're about to find out also. So this is what's going to be happening for this upcoming race. So what's going to be happening is that there's going to be 28 laps at the Red Bull Ring, obviously with the tyre wear set to ×3, with the fuel consumption rating set to ×1. You can use the racing mediums, racing softs, intermediates, wets. Obviously, no minimum number of pit stops, so you could just pit whenever you feel comfortable, or you wish to do a no stopper if it comes to a certain point. So 5 minutes qualification. Don't know what the weather's going to be like in qualifying. Probably wet. Shortcut penalty set to light. Same with mechanical damage. 28 laps, rolling start. 3 litre per second. Grip reduction off track set to real. Ghosting strong, obviously. And the track moves on. Obviously, like I said, with the mandatory pit stops, there's no mandatory pit stops. You just have the freedom of your own strategy to go with the flow as you go along. So the 5 o'clock slot is open. So let's get straight to it then, and let's see what the weather forecast is like. It looks wet. It looks wet. It's really wet. Must be the water. Let's add that to the words of evidence, shall we? How loud the rain is. I can feel more groove with the wet tyres so far. So if you look at the weather radar, so ideally you want to be keeping an eye on the royal blue patches along with the green patches if it comes to it. Therefore you'll see some really heavy rain with enough rain to make good use of to make you go onto the wet tyres, because if you go with the inters then you won't have much grip as you would like, because the amount of aquaplaning that you'll start to experience. ideally you want to be hitting that sausage curb on the inside in order to get a good exit. Unless if you can stay off the racing line in the turn 1 and to be sure that you don't feel the bouncing in the apex, then that will give you some momentum if you go off the line. And so if you go off the racing line at turn 1, then obviously you'll feel more smoothness on the track surface in terms of how less bumpy it is. Almost lost the car. Even if you do get the apex set together at turn 1, whilst going at a slower speed, then obviously then you'll be able to have the ability to control the throttle nicely in order to get good traction out of it. Once you build the consistency, then you'll start to feel some heat on the tyres and brakes and everything. So therefore, that you have total control in the difficult wet weather conditions. Even if you get your lines together, then you'll feel the upper hand also. So I've got a low 39, high 39 somewhere. But in that case, I'm just gonna chill out for a bit. Don't burn myself out too much. Obviously, we've got the idea as to what the weather conditions are going to be like, and yep, we're going to be going to go for a quick toilet break before I get put into a hobby. So I'll be back in a bit. 2-6. It's nice and peaceful where you can just listen to the when you can listen to the noise of the rain chucking it down. It's like when you go in for a sleep or a nap, then you just want to listen to a bit of that also. Just gives you some peace of mind. To think about things. So I'm singing in the rain. I'm singing in the rain. Even the marshals aren't saying anything about it. Right. It's nearly that time. 30 seconds before we get put into a lobby. Yes, Marty. Just in the nick of time. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome along. Hope you're well, my friend. So, we're just about to take part in what is round 4 of the GT World Series Manufacturers Cup at the Red Bull Ring. So, who knows what the weather is going to throw at us. So, good luck to those who are taking part on this slot, and best of luck to those who are taking part later on the evening, whichever part of the world you're in. So, let's see who we're up against. We've got Mario, Sonic, we've got Dustin, we've got Gitz, we've got Swiss GT Army, Ewan's back. Ewan's back indeed. So let's see how many points you get. So 298 gets you first place, and 83 gets you 211. Okay. So 5 minutes qualification. It looks really dry. So I've just managed to put on some soft tyres on. Right. There's some on the wet weather tyres, some on the mediums. But it's okay, they can just spawn back into pits and then change tyres. There's somebody weaving to get some tyre tempering, and that's what I'm trying to do also. And there's a guy behind us doing the same. Got the brake balance 5 to the rear. We'll crack on then. Couldn't quite get the apex in at that corner, but still able to carry some speed, and then we've got somebody behind who's caught up a little bit. Don't want to hold him up. I'll just probably should have pitted to be honest. But when I get to the end of this lap, then therefore that I'll not be. When I get to the end of this lap, I'll not be getting much tyre life towards the end. Yeah, it's got a bit wide then. But we can give it one more try. We can give it one more try. There's still some tyre left in. And we've got one more chance. Let's go for it. Somebody spawned on the road. Oh dear. He was going onto the wets. He's anticipating what is going to be a wet race. Just need to try and improve my position if I can. I am doing so far. But how much further can I get up? Yeah, pretty tough to be very honest, but it's all to play for in the race. Just not been my strength for this qualifying for some reason, but before I go even further, yeah. So in 12th place, no idea what to expect from my side, considering that the qualifying hasn't been great. But we may as well go for it. Let's play the music. let's get down to business and do the talking on the track. Good luck and have fun. Let's do this. So you can see it is pouring down rain. Must be the water. So we've got a Peugeot and the BMW in the front row, a Mercedes. Thank you, Marty. Gonna need it, to be honest. And there's Dustin in the numbers in P7. I don't see any McLarens in this grid. And there's Mario Sonic in the Mercedes. And I'm number 11. Copy, Marty. That's the plan. If I can keep it smooth as butter and stay out of the people's troubles, then we will have a chance of a result. So if I finish higher than where I started, good effort, then let's see. Mario Sonic's gone in the inside. Have to make him think. Maybe. I saw the car on the left. Oh, they just left him enough space, but looked like it from my radar. So you can see how treacherous these weather conditions are. Just need to get past the Italian in the Ford if I can. Haven't got into the groove with things. Oh, Mario Sonic. Got collected. And that results the Italian receiving a 3-second penalty for causing a collision. Oh. I'll have to look back at the replay. because I wasn't really sure whether I pushed him off or not, but no need to dwell on it too much, because there's a long way to go. Justin going for the move on the Polish driver. Surely that's got to be a time penalty for abusing the track limits, which it is. Whoa, somebody had a moment in the Ferrari. I had to anticipate before that lag kicked in. Dustin getting a bit sideways, of course. Maybe. Ooh, bloody hell. How I kept that on without getting a penalty for abusing track limits, I don't know. I thought the move was there, but nah. So close. Close but no cigar. But we are doing okay from where we started. Ooh. Got the Icelander. So we had the Icelander in the Ferrari, making a comeback, of course. somebody serving a time penalty in the penalty zone. Oh, the BMW getting out of the shape! Unbelievable! Oh, lucky buddy. Oh, just a bit of a rejoin there. Snap of oversteer. I've got a bit too close to the big fat J. Small pups on a comeback also. Oh, a bit of a collision going off there. Oh, shit it out. Oh, fuck. I'm so sorry, mate. So sorry. Rather be a good sport than be an idiot to carry on. But at least I've also made way to Small Pop also, who ran wide early on, which looked like to me, well, I might have run him off or something, but so at least that compensates something. But there's still a long way to go. I was doing so well until that happened. Copy, Marty. Just need to control the controllables. We've got business to take care of. It's not going to be easy, we've a long way ahead. But anything is possible. Jay's gone off. Something happened. Not really helping battling with people, is it? When you're trying to make your way through, but so the rain is very much stopped. So that just leaves me one option to do the obvious. To keep the tyres in good condition for as long as possible. obviously you do get some rainfall now and then. This is probably the last time, so So we're in the halfway distance now at the end of this lap. It's this part of the track where it's the wettest of the lot. So if I keep searching for the wet patches, that should give me a chance to salvage something. And if I see some people do a no-stopper in this race, I'd be amazed. As we're in the halfway distance now. 10 laps to go. Surely there won't be any rain for the rest of this race. Obviously you could still see some drizzle. Feels bone dry this line now. The Italians coming into the pits. Going to be the first one to have a go at the dry tyres. See, the trouble with coming out to the pits on dry tyres whilst the track had been wet then is the very slow pit exit. Because of how computer-rated this game can be sometimes. So we have another person who's coming into the pits for a change of tyres to go to the dry tyres of course. So if I can keep doing what I'm doing and try doing no stopper, then let's see. Of course, nothing to lose. Every point counts, don't it? Jay's coming in. So is the Greek driver. And gets us in. Yellow flags. Something's happened. Not sure what happened though. Somebody had an adventure. It looked like it. Might be one of the back markers. Yeah, it looked like a back marker, so no need to worry about it too much. Oh, bit deep there. Dusty's in for dry tyres. So is Ewan. Yeah, I thought it'd be a bit of back marker was spinning all over the shop. So Ewan's just come out of the pits on dry tyres, racing softs of course. And Dusty's 4.6 behind. .4, so he is catching up slowly, but he'll be catching up rapidly because of the soft tyre that's in the works. Oh, it was just gone wide. He's gone wide, struggling to find the grip, and Danny sees through. And there's Dusty behind also. If you want to overtake, you can do it. It's up to you. Oh, bollocks. Just hope I don't get a penalty for abusing track limits. Dusty's catching up. You go, 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 go. What's that smashing behind the background? Oh, Mario Sonic's in contention also. Unless it's fireworks that's kicking off. No, it's nothing to do with inside. It's somewhere on the outside. Somebody on the dry tyres, of course, in the Audi. Well, that noise outside has stopped now. For now. Fat Marker's had us an adventure. You want to go for the move, you go for the move. Oh, Guess is on the dry tyres also. Oh, these two are squabbling for position. And we've got Jay on the dry tyres also. last lap now. But glad when this is over done with, because this has been a horrible show. Just when you thought everything was going so smoothly, and then all of a sudden, contact with somebody, had to get the place back, which I did the right thing, you know what I mean? Not the end of the world, but obviously had to be a good sport in that sense, because it's just been one of those races where I was looking forward to doing a good job, but shit happens. So Jay's on the dry tyres, so that's going to put me down to P13 when he gets the move done. Small pup, after having an adventure from earlier on, has gone on to win the race. And for those who have stayed out, I'd like to see if they were on the intermediates, because if they were on the intermediates, then yeah. Or if they're on the wets, then they stayed out to the end, then well done. But I did all I could to try and stay out and do a no-stopper, and on the wet tyres, didn't pay off. So sorry I left you all down. Fuck's sake. But I'm glad it's over done with, because what could have been just my luck as of the past couple of races, just not going into planning that. So I'm going to grab the replay just to have a look at what's been going off exactly. Although I did rate Tour to give way when I felt I was in the wrong in that sense. But let's have a look at the rankings. Not really moved a lot, the DR. But yeah, crazy race. Probably not well, not get a chance to do another race, but yeah, I saved the replay. We'll have a look for when we get a chance. Well, we'll have a look anyway. Right, let's have a look. Let's see what tyres everybody else is on. Excuse me. Yeah. Excuse me. So here were the intermediates. Anyone on the wets? Andy were on the inters. Tapex on the wets. I were on the wets. Mario Sonic on the wets. Razor on the wets. Krieger in the wets. Agent Dusty in the wets. And Alteration and Joanne in the wets. Ewan in the wets. Getz in the wets. Doesn't look like it, as we've got these on the wets. Yeah, all on the wets, interestingly. So I'd just like to see, from my perspective on the top 3 finishers. Surely, from what I can see, surely they must have, well, there was someone that one of them finished on the inters. So that's a piece of info you got. So you see this bloke here who won the intermediates. So he did a no stopper on the inters, and okay, so that got me a little heads up with well, with me just like breaking the inters and Andy just like keeping it around the outside, and Andy just like lost it on his own on the traction zone. And then we have Reza and Mario Sonic coming together into that corner. Used half of the brake pressure and then full brake pressure, then yeah, I should have just like waited on that one, to be honest. And that resulted in a 3-second penalty for causing the collision. Now, this is the one bit I want to have a look at also. Not Lopez or something finished third. So I was in all of my own, just trying to keep it all together. So I was just braking just at the 50-meter board, and then we had the Ferrari on the intermediates. I was trying to do a cutback to avoid the collision, rightly so. A brake to was on the curb and then avoided taking action, so yeah, he missed the braking. Not only that, he braked to me whilst on the curb, which is the slippery part, of course. No, just want to see, as we got further into the race, the clash between myself and somebody else. So we've got Getz, obviously in the type of thing. Yeah, he's on the inters. So he had a long game to play, obviously, just needed to be patient in that one. So when I was keeping it within the white line with my left rear tyre somehow, and Getz still able to get the move done around the outside also. And then Johan obviously just left it enough racing room, honest as you like, and then I had to turn in even further to get a bit more grip and traction on the right hand side of the track, and then so we're going side by side. Always going to be last for the brakes. Obviously, the Icelander had to be one of the last on the late breakers. So I was thinking I was wondering if it's on this lap. No, not this lap. Maybe the next lap. So that BMW just lost it, literally just gone off the track, channeled it in advance Valtteri Bottas for a moment, doing some lawn mowing when he did a bit of lawn mowing service at the Austrian Grand Prix a few years ago in the Mercedes during the qualifying session. So small pups served a half-second penalty for track limits. Yeah, so let me see if so this is it now. These two battling for position. So I went for the move on gets, then tried to. Now this is a little bit of a. Looked like there was a little bit of a tap. So we get to little. That's probably the best I could do. Do it in real time, and obviously there was very tiny contact in that one, but I had to try and turn in for as much as I could to avoid doing a full-on tap on that one. There we go. So we'll get to see. So steering as much as I could. It's like not much harm was done. Even I had to go further into the apex and over the sausage curb. Then he tried to correct the steering, which obviously so that was coming from the well, on that note, gave him a little nudge, which I thought it was my fault, but then looking on the replay, that was not enough to to be looking at that it was my fault. So that because I didn't want to put much energy on something that was just going out to be controlled until I get a chance to have a look at the replay. So yeah, I shouldn't have waited there, to be honest, because what happened there is that I've did the best I could to avoid the clash with the Mercedes driver, and therefore that give him the chance to try and correct the steering. But Gats looked like him. He didn't give enough space to give enough space to try and get the car pointing in the right direction. You see what I mean? So one of them things. Can't stress about it too much, because otherwise the things could get yeah. So now we're on to small pub. Who was on intermediates. He was on the wets. Krieger in the wets. Maglione in the wets. In the Peugeot. So you see those pitted in for wet tyres then. And obviously I did all I could to stay out on the wets. And Andy was on for a result on the intermediates as well. So as you can see, Small Pup's got some momentum with the intermediates also. Whereas everybody else up front was on the wets. And Small Pup is going to be literally charging like a prancing horse, whilst doing what Ferrari couldn't do in Formula 1. So we had some that's coming in for new, for sticky wet tyres, sticky dry tyres, should I say? So his tyres were in slightly better condition than Small Pup, where Small Pup obviously had slightly better condition tyres. The Italians' tyres on the front, tyres that were just trash, a bit more worse. Same with the other Italian in the Ferrari. See how he got the move done? So he lines himself up, gone onto the wet stuff, gone a bit deep, gets the move done. And the next up is another Italian. Let's see how he got a good exit, so it will just slowly line. And Small Pup was foot flat to the floor, side by side, getting the overtake done and dusted. Whereas the Italian's tyres were much worse. And gets the move done. And off the Ferrari driver goes. So hats off to those who have stayed out of considering what tyres they were on, whether it's on inters or wets. Therefore, they've made the no stop possible. I mean, he could have just like kept on using the wet patches to keep the tyres in more good condition. Because what that does is that if you carry on driving the racing line, then therefore that's going to wear your wet tyres out even more. But if the inters are wet, that way it'll wear out the tyres much quicker if you keep driving on the dry line. And just went deep for good measure. So that just eased the pressure off the Brit. So we had a yellow flag somewhere. So that's where the yellow flag came from. It was the Swiss driver in the BMW who just lost it on their own. But no harm was done. And then you had the British driver in the Ferrari winning the race on inters, and then you had the Italian who had to settle for second for Ferrari on the wets, and another Italian in the Peugeot finishing third on the wets. So those, obviously, one at the intermediates, over two on the wets. Andy in the intermediates, and Krieger had no tyre left on the front left on wets. He would manage to get the move done on one of the cars on the wets, and then Dustin, of course, then just had to celebrate in style, Mario Sonic, and Dustin had to settle for P8. After considering what was a pretty chaotic race in some ways. That's for our eyesight. Another one to forget, I'm afraid. But that's motor racing for you. Things can change quickly. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do another slot, but I highly doubt it. Highly doubt it. So, but we'll see. We'll see. So I'm going to open these tickets. Yeah, some bits and pieces. He said that done, I guess. But, right, so I was thinking, should I go again for the 7 o'clock slot? Or should I just leave it? You let me know what you think. Because, obviously, what I got to do for plan of action for tomorrow is I'm going to be watching the Formula One race, having managed to watch the qualifying, and then because the times are just like crazy as like 4 o'clock in the morning in the UK as they're racing at Las Vegas, which is obviously 2 hours earlier than last year, because of last year the race started in the UK time was 6 o'clock, obviously because they were racing in the night, on the Saturday night, of course. So, what do you guys think? Should I just go for a 7 o'clock slot and go Inters and go from there, knowing that how tough the lobby's going to be? You let me know. You let me know. I'll give you a minute or so. Well, I'll just go and look at on my phone and then excuse me, see what's what, because I don't want to finish it in what was a bad result. So there was Indian Sticker who was doing it. Sparks was doing it. Going back into my live stream. Welcome along, Jay. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you're well. I've just seen your comment. Just seen your comment also. Well, just in the chat, should I say? Not been the best of results, but so we'll be going again if needs be. Considering what looked to be, I thought that, from my perspective, I thought it was my fault, and then obviously it turned out it wasn't, because, well, a little bit of like a tiny tap, which obviously sent the other car just going a little bit sideways, giving the other driver a chance to try and keep the car pointed the right direction, but the other driver didn't give him the chance to leave enough space to do so. So obviously that, I mean, I did rate to give away left. Let's be honest, which obviously compromised my race later on. But so looking further into that race, and looking back at the replay, I saw that the other guy has finished in first, having started on inters, which is crazy. Like, to say that there was only a couple of drivers who got into the inters, and those who got into the wets, well, like myself, obviously. So I started 12th and finished 13th. Qualifying haven't been great from my side, but so maybe maybe go for another go at the 7 o'clock slot. That way I'll have to recompose myself and then go again. Does he have a flux capacitor? A flux capacitor. The one who finished in first with the intermediates, if that's what you mean. If he has got like some sort of a tool, then obviously I've just been like going through the replay that he'd just been keeping his tires to as good a condition as possible. Flux the right. Oh yeah. Well, it must be. It must be that. So he's been literally, just thinking of the time ahead for later on as the track got drier and drier. So that'll be why. But yeah, so maybe that's gonna give everybody else another think on what to do for a plan of action. But yeah, so if you want me to do another 7 o'clock slot, I can do. But that's going to leave me, a bigger chance of racing on some competitive, racing in a much competitive lobby. Where the point system was obviously 298 points was for P1 at the 5 o'clock slot. So if it gets to around the 7 o'clock slot, therefore that there'll be obviously a bit more, bit more competition, 300 odd points for the race win, something like that, at the 7 o'clock slot. But we'll see. So if I make it back, I'll catch you in there. If not, then I'm going to spare a moment to say thank you all for watching, and feel free to like and subscribe if you like the content. I appreciate your support, and I'll catch you in the next one, and you look after yourselves. Take care. Bye-bye.